Hey everyone, my name is David Rao, and I'm the music teacher who blogs at makemomentsmatter.org. You can also find my ideas on Facebook, on Patreon, on Instagram, on TikTok, a variety of places when you search for my name, David Rao, or Make Moments Matter. Tonight, I'm excited to talk with you a little bit about books you can use for Black History Month, or any time of year, honestly, but I'm going to just feature a couple and then talk about how I use them, especially with a substitute teacher. I also want to share an exciting new instrument that I'm using in my classroom and that you should check out too. So, a couple quick things. If you hear about an instrument or a book or a resource or something and you're like, where can I find that? I have a links page on my blog where I add like all the links for the things I talk about. You can find that if you go to the video page on my blog, makemomentsmatter.org, or just click on the link wherever you're watching or listening to this. If you don't want to like see me through a screen, if you want to see me in person, I'm going to be in person doing workshops in the next couple weeks. And I wanted to share about those in case you're around and you want to come join us. I'm going to be this week, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the Texas Music Educators Association conference in San Antonio, Texas. I'm presenting 6 sessions. I'm super excited. If you're in Texas and you're at TME, I hope you'll come up and say hi and chat and like talk nerdy stuff about puppets. I hope you'll come and join us. It's going to be super exciting at the TMA conference. TMA is just an amazing conference, so hope you'll be there. The Alberta Orff chapter workshop, which I was supposed to do in the fall, had to be postponed. It's going to be on March 7th, and that's in Edmonton. So if you live in Alberta, if you live in Calgary or Edmonton or wherever, or anywhere else, other states and places, sorry, not states, other cities or towns, names that I don't know, come and join us. And it's going to be a really great time. That's with the Alberta Orff chapter on March 7th. And then another workshop, which I was supposed to do in January, but we got snowed out, has been rescheduled. That's with the Greater Rochester Orff chapter. So that's near Rochester, New York. And that's going to be on April 18th. So plan around that. If you're in the Greater Rochester area, we would love to see you. It's going to be a fun workshop. So I hope I'll see y'all there. Okay. So speaking of like workshops and state conventions, things like that, I've been to the Wyoming Music Educators Workshop a couple weeks ago. I was in Illinois just a week or so ago, at Peoria at their state workshop. And there are so many great things you can get out of going to those conventions. One of them is great professional development. You can see great sessions. You can learn from friends. You can make new friends. You can learn about things like, oh, I should be doing this now, or I should be exploring this or whatever. So like it's great for like learning new content and making new friends. I think that's maybe even better than the learning content. Like going out and like having a pizza and like talking about your classroom, or like unloading or talking with someone else who understands what you mean, right? Like, so that is just so valuable and exciting and fun. Another thing I love, of course, I love going to sessions and learning about new stuff. I was sitting in the Illinois Music Educators Workshop. My workshop was going to be like an hour and a half or something. And I was sitting there with the workshop before, and Josh Southard was presenting, and it was this amazing session. And I was like looking at books and things that I needed to buy and like, putting notes in his session. So you learn a lot too. But one of my favorite things is to go to the exhibit hall and see what the vendors have brought, because every year there are like new things that I'm like, I didn't know that this existed, or I didn't know that this this book was around, or I didn't know I had this service available to me or whatever. Or sometimes it's just fun to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fundraise and like eat some of the like cookies and butter braids and whatever that are there. Like that's always a fun time too. But I wanted to share about an instrument that is very new and is so exciting. And I actually secretly kind of knew about this one last summer, because when I was able to visit the Sonar factory in Germany, Sonar is a company that manufactures xylophones and Glockenspiels and metallophones. They do really amazing work. And this was in the like research and development like department, and we like weren't supposed to talk about it, but now it's actually out in the market. So I'm excited to talk about it. But I've seen it at conventions. So it's new this year, and a lot of people are like, I don't know. So I want to show you what it is and then talk about how I'm using it, because it's kind of cool as this new exciting instrument. So it's from Sonar, and it's called their Safari Glockenspiel. It comes in this cute little like tin. It looks like, oh, I got some like mixed nuts or whatever from like the Boy Scouts or, I don't know. Okay, so like fun, right? Okay, but inside there are two little mallets, and then there's an actual glockenspiel on felt. So this is just, it's felt and really thick, heavy duty, nice felt. On the other side are glockenspiel bars, and they do not come off. And I think this is hilarious. They, like when we saw it in Germany, they were talking about like they had to go through multiple rounds of figuring out like how do you get it affixed? How do you get so the bars don't come off accidentally, but can come off? Like you can take them off. So if you wanted to set it in pentatonic or whatever, you can do that. But the bars do not accidentally fall off. Like that was really cool to hear them talk about that. Why is this a cool, fun, new, like, why should you get it? Well, it's not all of that expensive. So for a Glockenspiel, it's not expensive. It's only like $60, which again, for a Glockenspiel, that's not bad. Okay. It makes a really great sound. I brought out, hold on, 1 minute. I have my like very nice Glockenspiel, my like Sonar Meisterclass, okay? With like fancy mounts. Okay. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear this on the video, but hope so. Great instrument, nice sound, very clear. It has a great, it resonates wonderfully. This is an alto, but I played in the upper range. Okay, here I am with the little tiny mallets that come in here, and I'll even play on the side. It's a slightly like, it's not as like resonant of a sound because it doesn't have a resonator box, right? But the sound is clear. It's absolutely on pitch. It's a nice sound. And when I don't have it on its side, I think I think it sounds just as good either way. But it like is a very, very good sound. Now I'm not gonna like, if I play at a state convention or something, I'm not gonna like have like a class set of these and my students are gonna like play like, ooh, we're playing at the National Art Conference and we're gonna get, no, like that's not why I would get this. But it, for what it is, it has a really amazing sound, right? Am I gonna have like my Orff ensemble play a Meisterclass instrument or this? No, I'm gonna have them play like the full size, because also the Meisterclass comes with like bigger mallets or whatever. But this is not made for my 4th and 5th graders, right? Like this is not made with them in mind. Who is this made for? This is made for all the situations where you're like, oh, I really want to bring in a Glockenspiel, but I'm nervous. Preschool, kinder camp, or like kindergarten roundup, or I have a whole class of students who are on the autism spectrum who are working on communication or have less fine motor control, or I like, there are so many situations, especially I'm thinking like special education, where you're like, I want to bring in these instruments, but these kids don't have as much control over their movement or whatever, and I'm afraid that like in their moving or whatever, they're going to accidentally knock over an instrument, bars are going to come off. This one's not going to do that, right? I am not worried about this one getting hurt in any way. And so that's kind of cool about this instrument. It's easy. It rolls up, like it literally fits in. Hold on, let me put it in this can again. It literally fits in this can, right? So like super portable. The other nice thing is, especially with my autism unit class, they see something, they're like, I'm gonna grab it. Well, if it's rolled up and inside this can, they're not gonna like go and grab for it because they can't, because I can literally put the lid on the can and like, ooh, it's gone, right? So like that's one of the really cool things about it. When we were there in Germany and saw it at the research and development like wing of Sonar, one of the things they were talking about was they wanted it to be more tactile. They wanted it to be more experiential, especially for like music therapists. This is a great thing if you're like, I'm moving between rooms, or I'm going through a hospital, or I'm whatever. Like it's super portable. You can wear the I mean, like you can like lay down, put it on you, and you can feel it. So like that's super cool. Like I remember laying down in this like wing of the R&D in Germany, and like they like laid it on our back and like played it so you can feel it. So like that's a super cool thing about it. So just think about like being able to experience it and explore with kids is super fun. But it's also nice in case you have a student who, like I had a student who had brittle bone syndrome years and years ago, and we always struggled with how do you get the instrument to her but make it accessible for her. And she had this like tray that I could put a Glockenspiel on and it was super easy for her to get to. But this is so low profile. I mean, like, look at it compared even to the Meister class, right? Like, it's really just felt and it's so easy to put on there. So this would be perfect to set on a tray or set on a table or on a desk or something. So especially if you're like traveling from room to room, you're on a cart, or you have to go into a room and the teacher doesn't move things for you. Instead of lugging around a bunch of instruments, this is so much simpler. So anyway, I wanted to share this, not that you should like go buy 40 of them or whatever. Like, I'm not, Soner did not ask me to like share about this, but like I've seen it um in like conferences in the exhibit halls, and I see people like look at it and like, well, that's kind of cool. But I feel like people don't necessarily see its potential. And if you don't get to go to a convention this year, or maybe you went to a convention, you didn't get a chance to look at things, this is a super, super cool, like brand new thing that is absolutely worth checking out and looking at. Maybe get one, maybe get a couple, and just like see what you can do with it. Where can you learn more? You can learn more about it on the Sonar website, or West Music is selling them. That on the links page, I put a link to that so you can see it. If you're going to conventions, like if you're going to be at TMEA, I guarantee these will be at the West Music booth and probably several other booths. Go check them out and try it. Like literally try it, flop around with the thing, take bars off, explore, try it. It's absolutely worth playing with and seeing some potential of like, what could you do? Because there are so many things I think you could do. Also, it's hilarious because when we were in the research and development department in Germany, they were talking about like, to be able to sell this, it's like there's something about it is an instrument, but because of where it's going to sell, they had to like fit toy requirements or whatever, like EU like toy requirements. So they're like, so technically, we are listing it as a drum and glockenspiel or something. They're like, because you can also use, like, you can use the can. So like they're like, everything is usable. Like you can. So anyway, it is cool. It rolls up. It comes with its own mallets, and you can like use the can as a drum if you want. On Facebook, let's see. Ivy says, does it come with extra keys? No, it only comes with C diatonic. So I bet you could get like F sharp and B flat if you want. And actually, you know what? I have the other instruments that are the color-coded small glockenspiels at school. I'll take it to school tomorrow and see if I can put the other bars on it. I bet that I could. But I will get the like matching bars and check, because I have those, but I will check and look and see tomorrow to see if that's possible. That's a great question. Anyway, again, because sometimes people like, I don't get to go to a convention this year, or I went to the convention but didn't see whatever. The vendor didn't have. It's sort of cool to get to see an experience. So I wanted to show this off and share a little bit about it, so you can go and look at it if you want. The other thing I wanted to share was two other things, because I'm thinking convention in my head. I have to take off days to go to these conventions, right? Like, who doesn't? And so that means sub plans. Also, it's Black History Month. How can I share about things and not stress about subs? And so I want to, and there's a sale on Teachers Pay Teachers right now. So like, let me something convergence of all three things. Which, by the way, if you go to Teachers Pay Teachers today, Monday the 9th, and tomorrow the 10th, you can get up to 25% off everything in my store and many other places. It's go stock up for convention goodies now, or whatever you're going to need. So one of the things I love to do to leave for a sub is I love leaving children's books, because subs oftentimes may not feel comfortable singing or dancing or moving or whatever, or playing instruments, but almost always they feel very comfortable with books. So I love leaving books for subs, right? So like one of my favorite ones, the one I'm going to talk about first, is this book, Trombone Shorty. I think you can use this for a variety of grades. It talks about Troy Anderson and his life. He's known, sorry, not Anderson, Troy Andrews. He's known as Trombone Shorty. He is a performing artist who is out there performing right now, right? He's not very old. He was born in 1986, so very, very young, very, very young. I say as someone born in 1985. Anyway, he is a young performing artist, youngish, and is something you can like find on YouTube. You can talk with students about. Super fun because he plays trombone. I don't know why. I feel like students like love the trombone just always in general. But this is a really cool book. It talks about his life. It gives a little bit of context. The pictures are beautiful, and super fun. It talks about New Orleans. It talks about how he grew up, wanting to play, getting to play, and it leads you really well into learning about his music, hearing, exploring, experiencing, if you want, right? So for substitute teachers, I leave this book and I leave this resource I created a couple years ago. I call them book companions, but the reason being I want them to be able to read the book, and then I want them to have a variety of options, because again, depending on the substitute teachers I get, some are super great and flexible and will try whatever I ask. Like there's some subs who are like, yeah, sure. Like subs who I know I've had multiple times who are like, yeah, I'm comfortable with blah, blah, blah. Okay. But sometimes subs are like, I don't really want to do that XYZ thing. So with these book companion kits, you get several things. One, you get a PowerPoint that like talks about the musician's life. It gives context. It talks about vocabulary. It has links to videos online that either show the artist playing or give context about the genre that they perform in or whatever. But it has like vocabulary, it has history, it has biography that gives more explanation. And that's some subs are like, that's what I want to do, and then I want to watch the videos. It also comes with a little lesson plan of like, here's a lesson outline of how you could teach this if you want. Some subs really like that. It also gives like coloring pages and more coloring pages. This one is like sort of open-ended where the kids get to fill in stuff if they want. It again, some kids or subs, or depending on the grade, you might want to do that or not. If you're doing it with an older grade and you want to have like a multiple choice question like quiz, it's got that. I've got another like fill in the blank. This is like less like tell me information from the story, and this has questions like, there are many instruments mentioned in the book, can you name a few? The music in Troy City inspired people to move and dance. Is there a musician or a song that you like to dance to? So it's not all pulling information from the book. Sometimes it's pulling from students' lives and what do they think. There's a word unscramble. Okay, kids love doing that. It comes with a key as well in case you don't need to find the answers. And then you could also, depending on the grade, you have new like a short answer essay, right? This is enough stuff to keep my sub busy for, not my sub, the class, but like gives the sub options for like 30 minutes to an hour long lesson, depending, right? Because it takes about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so to read the book. You got to think time to get in, time to get out. So if you're doing like a 30-minute lesson, they could read the book and then watch, the PowerPoint about his life, learn a little bit more, maybe watch a couple videos. Maybe you want them, you're going to do it for a younger grade. So maybe you read the book and then do coloring pages and then pull up the videos online if you want. All videos I've watched and vetted already, so that you know that they're safe, and vocabulary and stuff that like I've put in there. So for me, leading a book with this is so simple, because I say like, here's a possible outline, but if you want to deviate and use any of the other resources in here, fine. And it gives the sub freedom. It gives them a choice. It gives them options in case like maybe they decide to do the coloring page, but it goes like way faster than they expect. And so they like need to fill. Or maybe like watching the videos do not take as long as they expected and they need to fill with coloring. Okay, also this is another like me thing, but on the videos page, it has the video examples, and on each video, it says how long the video is. So if they're like, oh, let's watch this video of Trombone Shorty performing at the White House in 2012. That's only 3 minutes and 21 seconds. So plan accordingly, sub. But being able to give them this and know that like a sub is most often you're going to get a non-musical sub. Maybe you get a musical sub, great. And then this is an option for them. But often you get a non-musical sub, and I like giving them things that they feel comfortable using, and doing a read aloud is one of those things. So I have the resource kit for this one, Trombone Shorty. I also have it for so many other books some that just happen to work well for Black History Month. So like Ella, Queen of Jazz, about Ella Fitzgerald. There's this one, Before John Was a Jazz Giant, about John Coltrane. There's this one, Dizzy, about Dizzy Gillespie. I also have one for the Green Piano. It's called The Green Piano. And another book that would work, there's one about Beyonce called Beyonce Shine Your Light. So really all you have to do is get the resource and then also get the book. But it's pretty easy to put that in folder and give to a sub. It's very, very easy. You can use them for multiple grades. It kind of just depends on what you want them to do. Everything on TPT is 25% off right now, so I put the links there if you want, and all of the book companion stuff. I keep trying to add more because I know some people are like, hey, I already have this book about blah, blah, blah. Do you have a thing for it? I'm like, ooh, no. But right now I'm basing them around like composers or performers or whatever lives. But I might branch out. There are more options you could do there. But anyway, as I'm thinking about convention scene being gone, I love having a sub plan that I can just like plug and play and go. And this is one that has worked over and over and over again. So I hope this gives you some ideas about what you could do. Many people, like maybe you already have Trombone Shorty. Well, then you just get the resource and you like, print and go. It gives you an easy thing. Also, I know some people like, I can't use technology with my sub plans. Well, you could do the PowerPoint video thing, where you show that, or you could just use the physical worksheets that you print out. Another just options. Okay, between these books and this cool new Glockenspiel, I hope that you saw something that you're like, this is fun and exciting and I can use this, or I am intrigued, or I want to learn more. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments or send me a message. I would love to try and answer questions. Otherwise, I hope I'll see you in the coming weeks in in-person workshops. Like I said, I'm so excited about being in Texas this week at the Texas Music Educators Conference. Come to one of my 6 sessions and say hi. If not there, if you're not around Texas, I'm going to be in Edmonton, in Alberta, Canada. I'm going to be in the greater Rochester area. What was the other one I said? Oh, those are the ones right now. Okay. And oh my gosh. And this weekend, Aileen Miracle is doing a free online workshop. I put a link on in my Facebook page, and I'll put on the links page. You can go and sign up and get free PD. There are like 18 different sessions. All you have to do is like sign up to go. Another free thing. I did a session on there about orphan instruments for older students. It's a super cool summit. It's free. Go check it out. I'll put that on the links page. I forgot about that. Okay, so many options for PD. I hope I will see you at one of those. If not, I'll see you next Monday for another Musical Mondays video. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.